Yeah, so the objective of this live fire event is to certify 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines in their capstone event. So the end of their workup is a company supported night non-illuminated live fire attack. So the end state of this range, end state of this evolution, this exercise, is to certify the battalion in their ability to conduct infantry maneuver 6001, conducting an attack at the company level on the most complex range that we can build for Camp Lejeune. Yeah, so this training is going to enhance the battalion's ability to conduct complex integrated fire support in support of maneuver. It's going to aid their ability to conduct breaches supported by battalion and company supporting arms, and it's going to aid their ability to conduct a complex destruction of an enemy force. The enemy force they're painting on this situation is reinforced infantry, motorized infantry company, and their ability to destroy key elements of the defense, piece it apart, integrate fire, support maneuver, ultimately close on the objective and destroy that element. It's painted against a peer adversary, so the battalion's preparing for its deployment to Okinawa. This type of training aids their ability to fight near peer adversary or peer adversary in a complex environment against modern threat weapon systems organized around the reinforced rifle company. Yeah, so in 2nd Marine Division, an Apex Battalion Task Force is the pinnacle, right? That's the peak. That's every deploying battalion out the door, 2nd Marine Division, has to achieve that milestone. So that means the battalion's capable of integrating all types of division and MIG enablers. So they're able to fight mechanized, they're able to fight with an airborne element, they're able to fight, integrate supporting arms from across the division. Yeah, so this is the capstone event. We're going to evaluate the Victor 2/8's performance as really the culminating event, the capstone event of the Marine Corps Combat Readiness evaluation. So the battalion's been through a rigorous pre-deployment workup. They've completed a service level training exercise, and the culminating event for the battalion's life cycle before they deploy is the MCCRE, right? And the capstone event of the MCCRE is 2nd Marines assessing and evaluating 2/8's ability to conduct that company-supported night live fire attack. Yeah, this is a significant event for Victor 2/8. They're the first battalion to really conduct the Commanding General's capstone event, the night live fire, company-supported night live fire event. And it's a significant milestone, one for the division to be able to provide forces to the OCONUS force employers, right? The 3rd Marine Division. We're providing forces that are capable of conducting this company-supported night non-illuminated attack. That's a significant milestone. It's a level of proficiency that we have previously not provided. Most infantry battalions are capable of conducting this, but very few have. And in fact, in 2nd Marine Division, Victor 2/8 is the first one to be able to conduct this complex of a live fire event. Arguably the most complex live fire event you can conduct on Camp Lejeune for an infantry battalion. Yeah, so there's a lot of challenges associated with this event, right? There's the human factors. It's June in Camp Lejeune, so during the day it's 92, 93 degrees with a significant humidity. At night, the illumination's pretty low, and the battalion is having to fight through those human factors. Also, the complex compartmentalized terrain they're fighting through the wood line, and they're fighting an enemy force inside the tree line. So it's not a static golf course range. The unit's being asked to conduct a very challenging problem set within a very complex terrain environment, both day and night. So it complicates the traditional marking plan, it complicates our traditional signal plan, our communications apparatus. So it's a challenging problem set for the battalion to chew through and fight through, just organically to conduct an exercise of this level in Camp Lejeune. Yeah, so in accordance with the Commandant's Force Design in 2030, right, we want to, instead of the unit of employment being a battalion, the unit of employment now in the future is going to be a reinforced rifle company. And the unit of action, as opposed to being a company, will likely be a platoon reinforced element in the future. So this size exercise, this level of proficiency we're asking 2/8 to demonstrate is completely in keeping with Force Design 2030 and the Commandant's vision for the future. We want smaller units that are able to operate in a more complex manner, integrate higher level arms, and operate independently from higher headquarters. So 2/8's been able to demonstrate that throughout the conduct of this range. Absolutely. So the range itself is the largest range for an infantry unit to maneuver, conduct live fire training on in Camp Lejeune. The range itself spans over several kilometers, incorporates mortar positions, as well as really 2 independent ranges that we've sequenced together. So the scale of the range, we're asking the training unit to conduct really a deliberate offensive action over 4 kilometers, sequencing battalion mortars, battalion's heavy guns, medium machine guns, 240s, 60mm mortars, rockets, grenades, everything we can really bring to bear from a rifle company in a given space. And we've packed a significant amount of complex live fire problem sets within that multiple kilometers area. Really overall, the range itself has about a 10 square kilometer footprint. So the Commandant has a very specific vision for the future, particularly in the infantry. We see new concepts like EABO and littoral operations in a contested environment. And really the foundation of these new methods of employment for our service, it really resides and rests on what I call infantry primacy, or what the Commanding General defines as infantry primacy, right? The infantry community has a vital stake in an ability to operate in the future operating environment. And this type of training validates the success, or the future success the infantry community will enjoy by fundamentally seizing challenging terrain and defending, right? Seize and hold our core competencies for an infantry battalion. This range asks them to, in the most complex manner we can give them, to demonstrate the proficiency and really the primacy of the infantry community. And it's a level, it's a bar that we've not previously achieved. But going forward, right, the standard now for deploying infantry battalions from 2nd Marine Division is to conduct this company-supported night non-illuminated attack. That's a capstone event. That's what we're going to provide for the Joint Force going forward.
The overall objective of this exercise is to test the capabilities of Echo Company, to see if the training that we experienced from ITX and this whole work up till now can be executed on a company reinforced live fire attack during day and night here on a vamped up brand new version of Gulf 6 paired with another range at Gulf 27. This training will add value to the way that our Marines train in the future, due to the fact that every time you come out for a field op, every time you come out for another range, it's another rep, 1, and 2, you're getting another look. So the PSOs here versus the Coyotes at ITX, they're gonna induce friction on you in different ways. Not every way is the same. And so while they're constantly throwing new stuff at you, as a small unit leader, you're having to identify these things on the deck, fix it on the fly, debrief after, and correct the mistakes that you made. And that's how you're getting better every time you're coming out to do something like this. So the qualifications to becoming an Apex Battalion is higher pushes out a list of, objectives that you've got to complete within your workup. From this MCCRE to ITX and so on and so forth, you're putting checks in the box. And then along the way, you're evaluated on each of those events. And based on how your evaluators rate you at the events that you did, the higher you are, the more capable, the more lethal your battalion comes. And that's how you work your way up to becoming the Apex Battalion. So getting selected as the 1st Battalion to do this range at night, it just shows the trust and the confidence that they have in our battalion. The work that we put in, the late nights, and then the fact of the matter that we're always able to execute in a timely manner, and we always do it the right way. Everybody who watches us operate says the same thing. They all know that Victor 2-8, every time Echo Company is the lead element for everything, and we're going to continue to show them that, and we're definitely going to show them that tonight. So the difference between this range and other ones here in Camp Lejeune is it's just much larger. And so the fact that you have multiple company objectives at now a range in Camp Lejeune is fantastic, because it's giving you a more accurate look as a battle space would be in combat. So for example, 3rd Platoon is taking Golf 27 to set conditions for an F-pool for 1st and 2nd. Now our supporting assets play a huge role in that, but just the sheer size, and it really forces you to have a condition set scheme maneuver, is much different than the other ranges here in Camp Lejeune. So night attacks, live fire, they always present challenges opposed to the day. Visibility, of course, is limited. Keeping accountability of your guys and trying to maintain fire team integrity, understanding where your supporting and adjacent units are, and then just the constant battle of fighting online versus if you're trying to set out like internal support with fire, keeping tabs on where those guys are at, all while managing comm and signal plan in case your comm goes out, which is more than likely always going to happen.
My name is Second Lieutenant Senen Ubinya, S-E-N-E-N-U-B-I-N-A. I'm the 2nd Platoon Commander for a rifle platoon in Echo Company, Victor, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines. Yeah, absolutely. The objective of this exercise is to put rifle companies and all of their attachments basically to the greatest test which we can afford here on Camp Lejeune. Running a company-supported night live fire attack, which is an event which hasn't occurred on Camp Lejeune in a very long time, is quite possibly the most challenging thing or feat that any rifle company can accomplish. So we've been working towards this goal for a very long time, since the beginning of our workup in August, and tonight's live fire event will be the culmination point for a lot of hard work on behalf of all the Marines and their staff and out. Absolutely. So during this training, we're involving multiple supporting agencies, to include a 81mm mortar platoon, where we have attachments from CAT, which is 4 gun trucks. We have our company internal attachments. Attached to my platoon, I have a full medium machine gun section, in addition to 60mm mortars. So there's a lot of coordination which is going on, which allows us to involve multiple different fires agencies, multiple different weapon systems, all to get the riflemen closer to their objectives. This experience, first of all, exposes all of our Marines to what is combined arms at the greatest scale which a company can afford. And second of all, it's just another good rep. We just got back from ITX in 29 Palms, and we spent 7 weeks out there executing in the desert. It's about time that we get the boys back into the tree line, doing live fire aboard Camp Lejeune in a different environment and a challenging environment. Camp Lejeune provides us different challenges than the desert, which is provided by 29 Palms, and the boys have done very well in terms of adjusting the way that they bivouac, the way that they make movement through the tree line, and the way that they execute in a more woods-dense environment than 29 Palms. Being an Apex battalion means that we are currently the most lethal battalion aboard Camp Lejeune. What that means to me and to my Marines is that we are the most combat-ready unit, and if we are called to go somewhere and and execute missions, that we are the most prepared men aboard at Camp Lejeune, and really on the East Coast for the Marine Corps to go out and execute any mission set which we might be called upon to do so. Absolutely. As I mentioned before, night company live fire has not occurred aboard Camp Lejeune in many, many years. And the reason for that is that it is such a challenging event. There's so much coordination, and there's so much risk being assumed in terms of being able to train to such a high level with so many different supporting agencies in a live fire environment. So it really means that, first of all, as a battalion, 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines is prepared to do this. We've had a very long and very successful workup, culminating in a very successful ITX, where we worked from the platoon level all the way up to the battalion level with a culminating exercise of modern warfare exercise at ITX. And that, most importantly, the regiment finds us prepared to execute this mission tonight. So really it means that our higher leaders believe that we are ready to do so. We have the confidence that our Marines are ready to do so, and most of all, we're excited to go and close with the enemy tonight. So the night brings a different set of challenges than during the day. Obviously, coordination is much more difficult. Actually identifying people at night under night vision devices is definitely a considerable challenge. So myself as a platoon commander, finding my squad leaders and finding my subordinate leaders is much more difficult at night. So we have to mitigate that factor with better marking plans and whatnot. In addition, when you're involving multiple different fires agencies, in between the 60s, the 81 millimeters, the machine guns, and the CAT heavy machine gun assets that we're involving in our scheme of maneuver for the attack tonight, there has to be a lot of coordination, which is all tied to conditions being set, in addition to a visible and redundant signal plan. So we need to make sure that before we go out tonight, everyone is on the same page in terms of what actions create other actions and how we're marking that on the deck. If we can do that, then we will all be on the same page as we attack the enemy. In addition, we will ensure that all of our Marines stay safe in the live fire environment, which is involving well over 100 different weapon systems in the fight tonight. I'd just like to say how proud I am of my platoon and the battalion and the company. These guys have put in many days and nights in the tree line, out of the tree line, out at ITX, and they've put their best foot forward consistently in very challenging and austere environments. I cannot be more proud of the Marines of 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines, as every company comes out here this week and conducts night company reinforced live fire. It's truly an incredible feat to be accomplishing, and I'm very proud of all the guys.